We are now one day away from the start of the Iowa State Fair, and we all know a big part of the fun at the fairgrounds are the food competitions.
Absolutely. So joining us live in studio now to preview what is new about these contests and so much more is the Iowa State Fair Food Contest Superintendent, Pat Berry. Pat, thanks for being with us this morning.
Thank you for having me here.
So like Joseph said, the food contest, something a lot of people look forward to. What is new this year? I know you said there's a handful of new contests.
There are. We have everything from celebration pies to Big Wayne's Cincinnati style chili to as taste of days gone by, which is recipes from 1960 beyond that. We have everything from like green tomato pie in memorial to Louise Piper, one of our beloved exhibitors. We have a different cake kind of contest. I mean, there's everything you can think of. There's 21 new ones this year.
21
new ones, plus the ones we've always had.
So how do you come up with the ideas and concepts for these 21 new competitions?
But there's only one that was mine.
Okay.
But the rest of them were people that came up and said, I want to sponsor this, or a judge might say something, or another sponsor will go, I'd like to add a different one, or some of them will change up what they've done for a couple of years and add a new one. Like we have one that's a cheeseburger breakfast kind of thing, different things like that. They come from all over the place.
Wow.
People who've been there before that just finally go ahead and say, okay, this year I'm going to do it. So it's a wide variety of people come along, and at the last minute we'll add one, it's that kind of thing.
And you mentioned that one of them is your idea. Yeah. Tell me about that one.
It was a taste of days gone by. Years ago when I was exhibiting, Living History Farms sponsored recipes of yesteryear, which always was a fun thing of mine. And so I kind of took that concept with the 250 anniversary and added some classes to that and brought it back. So myself and Lois Aldridge, which is another one of our judges, is going ahead and helping sponsor that one. So we both like that contest.
I'm excited to hear more about that one. That's very exciting.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I love it. And so the list goes on for a long list of competitions. What does it take to organize this and really get this all set up and come to life?
It's a lot of people are involved. Some of these people that have been helping working at the fair have been there for 20 to 30 years. You don't need to reinvent the wheel with them. They know exactly what they need to do and how to get it done. And it's flawless. The public would not know if there was anything happening behind the scenes, which is what it should be. But everybody has a job to do, and we cannot, knowing if there's a kink in the clog, the whole thing would fall apart. So the sponsors know that, the judges know that, and they all pitch in if something comes up or whatever. And so you just organize the time frame. You look to see when something would work. With the contest from last year lasted too long, when should you move it to? Trying to make it so it's easy. You want to give a few people a break here and there. You have a variety of help along the way, and someone will go, I only want to do it on Sunday at 10. Like I always have mine on Sunday at 11, because another one I do is Sunday dinner at mom's or grandma's, and that was usually at noon or at 11. So, it's like things like that. They give you the time frame for when something's going to happen, but it's just a combination of many people putting in their 2 cents.
Pat, how long have you been part of this?
I knew you were going to ask me that. I exhibited for 23 years, and then I judged for 25.
Wow.
So add that up. And then in 2019, I got asked to help do this. And then in 20, we didn't have it because of the pandemic. And so I've been actually superintendent since 21. So altogether, that's over 50 years. So think about that one for a minute. So yeah, but I started showing at the fair in the Ag Building. With my big garden that I had, I just brought produce there and did what you see every year when you go there.
That's impressive.
Yeah,
what does it mean to you to be, spearheading and leading such an iconic part of the Iowa State Fair?
It's an honor. It's an honor to be able to be there.
And I'm sure that for someone who's been a part of this, for decades now, like, do you still just every time the fair come around, do you still have those butterflies, that excitement?
Like today?
Yeah.
Tomorrow's the big day. Yeah. It's like, okay, and I camp out there, so it's like, is the camper ready? No. Wow. So are things down in the building ready? They are, so certain things happen and some things don't. But yeah, it's, you'd like to be able to go out and see some of the things you used to be able to see. You hear when the parade comes by, the Veterans Day parade and all of that kind of stuff. So it is an honor to be part of that. By far.
Do you have a favorite memory of either being the superintendent of the food contest or just a favorite state fair memory, since you've clearly been there for so many years now?
Watching the kids come in and watching them grow up through the fair. Brad Meg used to show, and he's Goldie's Ice Cream out in Colfax, or Prairie City, and he now runs the restaurant that's up in the Pioneer Barn. And seeing him like them, and there's others that are coming along the way, start out when they're 6 or 7 or 8, or they followed you around until they became old enough to be able to show, and then when they come back, we have someone doing that this year, coming back with the contest. So it's pretty impressive to see that. And then it also reminds you how old you're getting, So it's pretty fun to watch the kids, And then you have your fair family, like you have your family around your community. And, we get together a couple of times a year to say what's going on, And just being able to be part of them is very important.
At the same time, the people who are participating in these contests, even for the first time, that's got to be really awesome.
Well, having someone come along and then they're almost worried about whether or not they're going to bother you when they call you, And it's like I said, well, if I'm out in the garden, I can either answer it or we'll have to talk again later, But watching them figure out that there's some other things in here I could do. Because if someone comes up and talks to me about it, then pretty soon it's like, how many are you bringing? And then I'll go, I want you to bring 5 more than that next year. And we get kind of OCD about some of this stuff, And just watching them when they do win, or even if they get high praise for something, and telling them they need to come back. And it's a whole learning thing. Because you can make chocolate chip cookies in the morning and they're perfect, and make them after lunchtime and they're like not the same thing. Same recipe. That'll happen to anybody showing anything at the fair, anywhere on the fairgrounds. Absolutely. So, it's just knowing what's the good thing.
Absolutely. So if anyone wants to find out more about the contest, where can they go?
They can call me at 515-480-5662. They can get online to the Iowa State Fair and look up the food department, and it'll have the itinerary of what we have going on every day. And we are the only state fair in the United States that does live judging every day of the fair. The only one.
And there you have it, folks. You can't miss it. It's there every single day.
Every single day it's there.
You got to get out and see it. All right. Well, Pat, I look forward to hearing more about these contests throughout the fair.
Come in and say hi and just tell someone to find Pat. So
Absolutely.
We
will. Well, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having
can't
me.
wait to see you at the fair tomorrow.
All right. Oh, you're coming out tomorrow. Very good.
We'll be out there every day.
You'll be out there every day. All right.
Yeah.
And then maybe I'll roll by and say hi.
There you go.
There you go.
I love it.